Come inside, come inside.
Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Terry, the next guest is Shannon Register from Register Real Estate, and she's got some great stuff. We've got kind of a really entrepreneurial, innovative thing going on here with our conversation this segment. We're going to be talking about real estate, but we're also going to be talking about how other companies harness real estate to build the economy. So I'm kind of excited about this. And Cricket, by the way, Job wants to inform you that you need to say the mic is hot because they hear everything. They're connected straight to the pot, and they miss it because Leslie does that. So we got to train Job to say the mic is hot. So thanks very much on that. And you need to really be joining the conversation over at priceofbusinesstv.com. And you really need to do it before the Food and Drug Administration shuts it down, because you look at this and all you do is gain weight by all the empty carb conversation that takes place there, but plus more. And they have a lot of fun. All right. Speaking of fun, whenever Shannon's here, I have fun.
It's always fun.
Good to see you. Shannon Register, you got a great guest. Why don't you go right straight to introducing Mike to our audience?
Mike Blalock is here today with us, and he owns Post Oak Publishing, and they publish the Houston Newcomer Guides. And we use the Newcomer Guides in my business. I use it, and my agents use it to send out to people relocating to the Houston area. The guides are a high-quality, high-gloss guide. They have 5 different ones for the area, and they have lots of great content in them for people moving to the Houston area.
Usually I warn my producer that the mic is not over here, right? You know that. Yes. Go right ahead, Mike.
Perfect. Good morning. There we go. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Good to have you. Post Oak Publishing, you cover lots of guides. How many guides do you have?
We actually do 6. We do West Houston, Northwest Houston, Northeast Houston, Fort Bend, Clear Lake, and Texas 288 South. And we actually work for the Fort Bend Chamber of Commerce as well as the Clear Lake Area Chamber of Commerce as well. We do their membership directories and buyer's guide. I've always kind of considered myself a Chamber of Commerce guy, if you will.
Yeah, we need Chamber of Commerce people still out there. I tell you, things have changed in the whole business environment. Rotary is almost dead. I hate to say that because I used to be a Rotarian, great organization. Now, unless there's a direct opportunity for you to do business, people don't want to get together anymore. That's what I'm learning. That's why B&Is are exploding. I don't have a problem with B&Is, but I also like the idea of people getting together just to help a larger business community versus just your own self-interest. And that's what chambers do, but they're having a hard time selling that in the current business environment.
Absolutely. You know, it's really interesting because in the way I look at it is our product is Houston, and Houston is doing very well. We're not Detroit right now. These chambers...
Thank God.
Absolutely. These chambers in particular, and different business groups like Women's Council of Realtors, or HAR, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Greater Houston Builders Association, Houston Relocation Professionals, we're all working together to market Houston.
Yes.
And, interaction and involvement and websites and guides and meetings and everything else, that's all very important to be able to communicate our product.
Yeah, by the way, I come from Detroit, so having covered that, yeah, me too. And so I can't be offended, and I can make fun of it all I want because I am from there. But seriously, Dell, great question here. Are all the real estate sales coming from out of state? Do the buyers actually relocate or just buy our homes?
That's a great question. There's a lot of people that are moving into town right now. We've got jobs, and it's really interesting. The cost of living here is so important, and you're going to laugh about this, but almost kind of the Wild West mentality that we've had from a business standpoint, lack of regulation. I mean, there are a lot of cows out there right now. Richmond American Homes 4 or 5 or 6 years ago pulled out of Houston because we weren't going up 30 or 40% per year. And Las Vegas was, and Miami was, and all these other places. And we've been very consistent with growth. The business climate is very good for adding jobs. There's not a lot of over-regulation. It's not very expensive to build a house. We have great weather, and a lot of people in Houston are probably laughing about that, but it's still a very attractive place to come and live.
Yeah.
It's also funny, you want to visit New Orleans or Las Vegas or Miami, but you don't want to live there. We're kind of the opposite. You you don't really want to visit Houston, but you certainly want to live here.
Yeah,
great schools and quality of life and jobs and big city amenities without a lot of the big city problems.
It's the best value of any major city in America without question. CNN Money said that it cost $1.75 to live in Chicago versus your dollar in Houston. It's a little over $2 in San Francisco, a little over $2 in New York City. And so if you're moving from New York City to Houston, you're doubling your value of your salaries. You're giving all your employees 100% salary increase by moving to a place like Houston. So it's phenomenal. Great question here. Also on the board, again, from Cricket. She was wondering that question. She's the one who asked the question because of the impact it has on our jobs. Interestingly, Texas has what looks like a fairly high unemployment when you look at it. It's 8%. That's not a low unemployment, but the reason why it's so high is because of this huge number of people that have been moving here, because this is the only place where jobs are being created. More jobs created in Texas than all the rest of the states combined. But even with that, I mean, Texas demographically is going to be bigger than California here in a decade. I mean, it's just incredible.
We just gained 5 congressional seats in the upcoming census. Katy, in particular.
And I think they're all from New York and California.
There you go. Well, that's okay, too. Katy is more than doubled in the last 10 years. And in fact, was recently ranked the #1 growth city as well, depending on the size. But we have a lot of space and opportunity and a good infrastructure and a welcoming place.
Mm-hmm. Let me get Shannon in. I know she's got some questions as well. I mean, the board is going crazy on questions, but Shannon, let's get you in here.
Well, the guides, I love these guides, and I love being able to help consumers move to the area. And one thing that, Mike, you might want to share with us the distribution on the guides and what the content is. I talked a little bit about that, but you may want to tell people out there exactly what's in them.
Sure, appreciate it. The concept is to have literally everything people need from at least 6 months before they move until they've been here for a full year. We have a special emphasis on neighborhoods and communities, housing options, relocation information. We've got a lot of information about schools, both school districts, colleges and universities, and private schools as well. Healthcare. We have a lot of information about business and employment, the overall climate, fun stuff like golf courses and shopping malls and schools, and boring stuff like title insurance and how to get your post office the mail switched, and literally everything in between. And then what we do is we get them out aggressively to anybody that be working with newcomers. We do a lot with the real estate community, and we appreciate the involvement there. The realtors, the relocation companies, the relocation service providers, the hospitals. The hospitals actually use our books when they're recruiting doctors and nurses. A doctor or nurse that speaks English can work literally anywhere in the world, and they use our guides to help bring them in. We work with the HR departments. We talk about how we're not in a oil and gas town anymore, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, it is part of the good news is that, we're like 20% versus 80% 20 years ago. Well, thank God, or we could be in trouble at some point.
Exactly. But
we're still an oil and gas town.
We're still an oil and gas town. Yeah,
Michael,
exactly.
they're gonna pull a net on all of us because things have gone so quickly. Incredible. I got like 15 questions here at the board at priceofbusinesstv.com. So clearly, at some point, we need to get you back on.
Perfect.
Mike's website is at Houston Newcomer Guides.com. Shannon, I am so sorry because you got a plethora of questions as well. How do we reach you, though?
RREA.com. You can always find us online there, and at RREA.tv you can watch all the videos, and you can always reach us by calling us at 281-288-3500.
What a perceptive guest, by the way. You can find Shannon in the guides because she knows a good source for people. You need to go where people are actually looking, and that's exactly where people look is on guides, online, and that type of thing. But great conversation. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
You bet. You bet. And Texas is hot. People were asking about how to get more information about the cost of living. Some of the best resources I've found, me quoting CNN, how funny that is, but it's at cnnmoney.com. That's cnnmoney.com. And do a cost of living comparison between Houston and the 9 other largest cities, and it will blow your mind how cheap it is to live in Texas and what you get for it, which is why we're the biggest attractor, if you will, of Fortune 500 companies, because they're giving their employees raises without spending $1 more. I'm Kevin Price. We're going to have our Fox segment coming up next with my good friend Brian Sullivan of the Fox Business Network right here on Talk 650, powered by CBS Radio.